All right, let's dive in, shall we? Today we're going down under to Australia to unpack this Netflix series, Apple Cider Vinegar.
Okay.
It's a wild one, based on a true story that really shook up the wellness world. The story of Belle Gibson.
Yeah.
And this isn't just another influencer drama.
Right.
This one takes us deep right into the heart of the wellness industry, where those lines, they get blurry between genuine healing and deception, straight up deception.
Yeah.
So are you ready to explore this dark side of wellness?
Absolutely. I think what makes apple cider vinegar so compelling is how it uses Bill Gibson's story to kind of expose the vulnerabilities, like all the cracks in this whole wellness market.
Yeah,
It really makes you stop and think about how easily desperation and that human need, that human desire for quick fixes can be exploited.
it really does. And the title itself, Apple Cider Vinegar, it's brilliant, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Like a wink, at all those ubiquitous wellness products promising you the world, but often without the science to back it up.
It's very clever. Yeah, it sets this skeptical tone right from the start, and it invites the audience right away to start questioning everything they're being sold,
Totally.
especially in the context of wellness.
Okay, so Belle Gibson, the series paints her as this incredibly magnetic personality, someone who masterfully crafts this online persona to draw people in. But beneath that carefully constructed facade, there's this darkness, a willingness to deceive for personal gain. Did the series creators, did they delve into what might have motivated her to go to such extremes?
Oh, they did, and I think they did it quite effectively. It's not just about greed or even fame, although those are certainly factors. The series really dives into her ambition, Bey's ambition, her deep-seated need for recognition, and how those desires fueled her fabrication of a life-altering diagnosis.
It makes you think about the impact, right, of Belle's actions, not just on her followers, the ones who believed her story, but also on the broader conversation about trust and authenticity online.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder, how can we be more discerning when it comes to the information we consume, especially when it comes to our health?
Such a crucial question in this digital age we live in, and the series drives that point home.
Yeah.
What we see online is not always the whole picture, and sometimes it's a complete fabrication. Now, alongside Belle's story, we have the equally compelling journey of her friend Milla.
Yes. Milla, now she's deeply invested in alternative medicine.
Right.
Tell me more about the choices that she makes and how the series portrays the potential risks associated with those beliefs.
Well, Milla's unwavering faith in alternative treatments, it leads her to make a heartbreaking decision. She convinces her mother to forego conventional medical therapies. It's a real turning point in the series, highlighting how personal beliefs, however deeply held, they can have devastating consequences when they influence critical healthcare choices.
It seems like the series is urging viewers to consider the importance of evidence-based medicine, especially when the stakes are so high.
Exactly. The consequences for both Belle and Milla, they're tragic. The series doesn't shy away from those realities, and it uses their stories to underscore the need for critical thinking and a balanced approach to healthcare.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the production itself. Apple Cider Vinegar was filmed entirely in Melbourne, which gives it this raw, authentic feel.
Yes, the setting definitely adds to the show's authenticity.
Yeah.
And the funding from Screen Australia and Vic Screen highlights this commitment to high production value. You can tell the creators wanted to do this story justice. They even they sprinkled little, they call them Easter eggs, throughout the series for those paying close attention. Subtle nods to the real-life scandals and the whole culture of influencers.
Fascinating. Those little details add another layer to the storytelling. Now let's dive into the critical reception. I read that Apple Cider Vinegar has gotten some pretty positive reviews, like an 82% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a respectable score of 70 out of 100 on Metacritic. What aspects of the series did critics seem to praise the most?
Many critics applauded the series for its bold storytelling and its nuanced portrayal of Belle Gibson. They praised the way the series delves into her motivations without excusing her actions. However, there were some mixed reviews too. Some felt the pacing was uneven at times, and the graphic content was a bit jarring for some viewers.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Where is that line between portraying a a difficult subject matter and potentially going too far.
It definitely raises some questions, and it sounds like this show doesn't shy away from tackling difficult topics. But beyond the individual stories of Belle and Milla, this series also offers a broader social commentary, right? Um, especially when it comes to the role of social media in shaping health and wellness trends. What did you find interesting about that aspect of the series?
So the series brilliantly analyzes how social media can be this breeding ground for misinformation.
Right.
It shows how the commercialization of personal health crises and the promotion of unverified treatments can prey on vulnerable individuals desperate for answers.
It's scary to think about how easily we can be influenced by what we see online. And apple cider vinegar seems to be a powerful reminder that we need to be much more critical of the information we consume.
Absolutely, especially when it comes to our health. We have to remember that what we see online is often curated, filtered, and sometimes completely fabricated. And those seductive quick fixes, well, they often come with a hefty price.
This whole discussion about the dangers of quick fixes and all this misinformation online, it makes me think about the concept of evidence-based medicine.
Mm.
For those of us who might not be familiar with that term, could you explain what it means and why it's so crucial, especially in the context of this series?
Of course. Evidence-based medicine, it essentially means that healthcare choices, they're guided by scientific research and proven results, not just personal beliefs or anecdotes.
Right.
It's about making informed decisions based on solid data, clinical trials, expert consensus. In the series, we see the tragic consequences of what can happen when evidence takes a backseat to belief and wishful thinking.
That makes perfect sense. So going back to the critical reception, you mentioned earlier that some viewers found the pacing to be a bit uneven and the graphic content somewhat off-putting. Did those criticisms seem valid to you?
I can understand those perspectives. Some episodes did feel a bit slower than others, and the series certainly doesn't shy away from portraying the harsh realities of the choices Belle and Milla make.
Right.
It's definitely not a show for the faint of heart, but I think the show's creators were deliberate in their choices. They wanted to convey the gravity of the situation, the real world consequences of misinformation and misguided beliefs.
It sounds like a show that's not afraid to challenge its viewers and spark uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Do you think this series ultimately strikes a balance between being thought-provoking and potentially exploitative?
I believe so. It's a delicate balance to strike, but for the most part, the series it manages it effectively. It doesn't sensationalize the events, but rather presents them in a way that encourages viewers to think critically about the issues at hand. It's not about exploiting the tragedy, but rather using it as a platform to launch a broader discussion. A discussion about misinformation, the allure of quick fixes, and the importance of critical thinking, especially in this digital age.
I think it's fascinating how this series uses a fictionalized account of a real-life event to explore such complex and timely issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just entertainment.
Right.
It's a reflection of the world we live in, a world where we're constantly bombarded with information and have to sift through fact and fiction, especially when it comes to our health and well-being.
Precisely. And apple cider vinegar, it really hits home that point. It reminds us that we can't just blindly trust everything we see online, even if it comes from charismatic figures or seems to align with our beliefs. It's a call to action to be more discerning consumers of information, to do our own research and to consult with qualified professionals when it comes to our health.
I'm curious to know more about your thoughts on the broader social commentary woven throughout the series, specifically how the show explores the influence of social media on our perceptions of health and wellness.
The series does an excellent job of portraying how social media can be both a powerful tool for connection and a dangerous weapon for spreading misinformation.
Right.
It shows how algorithms, targeted advertising, and the pursuit of likes and followers, they can create these echo chambers where misleading health claims thrive, and how those trends can have a profound impact on vulnerable individuals seeking answers in community.
It's almost like the show is urging us to take a step back and really examine how we interact with health information online,
Yeah.
to be more aware of the potential biases, the hidden agendas, and the profit-driven motives that often lurk beneath the surface.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that not all sources are created equal, and that just because something's trending or has thousands of likes doesn't make it credible or safe. The series, it encourages us to develop a healthy skepticism and to prioritize evidence-based information over anecdotal claims and influencer endorsements.
This makes me think about Milla's story and how her trust in alternative treatments, perhaps fueled by what she saw online, ultimately led to tragic consequences. Do you think the series effectively portrays the dangers of relying solely on online sources for health information?
I believe it does. Milla's journey, it serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the potential harm that can result when personal beliefs, however well-intentioned, are not balanced with evidence-based medical guidance. The series underscores the importance of consulting with qualified healthcare professionals and seeking information from reputable sources.
It's a powerful reminder that our health is too precious to gamble with, and that while the internet can be a valuable resource, it's crucial to approach online health information with a critical eye and a healthy dose of skepticism. But beyond just highlighting the dangers, did the series offer any solutions or strategies for navigating this complex landscape of online health information?
It did. While it doesn't provide a step-by-step guide, it implicitly encourages viewers to be proactive in seeking out critical sources, to cross-reference information, and to consult with qualified professionals to verify the validity of online claims. The series, it emphasizes that we have a responsibility to ourselves and our loved ones to be informed and discerning consumers of health information.
It sounds like apple cider vinegar is more than just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a call to action, to be more critical thinkers, to question what we see and hear, and to take ownership of our health choices.
Exactly. It's about empowering ourselves with knowledge, being mindful of the potential biases present online, and seeking guidance from those who are qualified to provide it. The series reminds us that we are not passive recipients of information, but active agents in shaping our own health narratives.
It's been really fascinating, kind of dissecting this whole series, Apple Cider Vinegar. We've explored like the shocking deception of Belle Gibson, the tragic consequences of misinformation, and the power of social media to shape how we see health and wellness. As we wrap up our deep dive here, I want to get your overall impression of this series. What stood out to you the most?
This series, it's a masterclass in balancing entertainment with social commentary. It pulls you in with this gripping narrative full of twists and turns, but at the same time, it's challenging viewers to confront like uncomfortable truths about our society and the choices we make. It's a story that sticks with you, long after the credits roll. It really makes you think and examine yourself.
I totally agree. It's not a passive viewing experience, is it?
No.
It's a call to action. So for our listeners who are intrigued and maybe considering watching Apple Cider Vinegar, what final piece of advice would you offer?
I would say go into it with an open mind and a willingness to be challenged. The series will probably make you listen your own beliefs and assumptions about the wellness industry, the influence of social media and the importance of critical thinking. It's a journey that might be uncomfortable at times, but ultimately it's a journey worth taking.
That's a great way to put it. And remember, this is a series that's meant to be discussed,
Oh, yeah.
debated, dissected. So gather your friends, your family, your fellow deep divers, and just let that conversation flow.
Absolutely, because ultimately, the more we engage in these critical conversations, the more empowered we become to navigate this ever-evolving landscape of information and make informed choices that put our well-being first.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the captivating and thought-provoking world of apple cider vinegar. Remember, be critical, be curious, and be well.
Until next time, keep diving deeper.